right, the big concept for today and really the whole class. We have a choice. We'll get into choice later on. We'll have a whole discussion about choice. That's fun. But for now, just assume that there's a choice. And the world, everyone that's ever lived, ever, and that includes each one of you guys, have a choice to make, not just in your life, but every day and every decision you make. And that is follow God or follow man. Doesn't deserve a capital M. Well, I think it is a capital M though, because we're talking about all of mankind. Is everybody cool if I still refer to man as like generic all of mankind? No. Ladies, are we okay with that in this day and age? Shut up, I don't care. There. You're full of hate speech, PJ! I don't care. Alright.
Ooh, really? Ooh. I'm just gonna go ahead.
By the way, mute your phone.
Oh, my was muted.
Mute your phone. That doesn't count as muting it. You just dropped it. Alright.
Someone just got kicked.
Okay, seriously, write this at the top. This goes to, is really the name of session 1, but it's the whole class. Are you going to follow God? Or are you going to follow man? Follow God, follow man. Anybody want to take a stab at what I mean by that in the most broadest of terms? Besides my own daughter, who's pretty much like been around me teaching this class for several years now. Anybody want to take a stab at it? Okay, that was a misdirect. That was a hair thing. It was like, I'm going to! No. Go. Eric, notice Tom Holland.
Do follow the Bible, follow what the Bible says, or follow worldly views and what the world tells you to do?
In general, agree, disagree? Agree. Lily's like, no, you're wrong.
I kind of feel like the phrase to follow God means following how He brings Himself.
No, you're okay.
View Him in His views, because and
Views
each
of
one
God.
can be, referred to differently, and everybody views God themselves.
Good. I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but I appreciate you thinking. Okay? I appreciate the thought process that has gone on. Okay? Good. That's you. Lily? Yeah, just get that. Sorry, that's not bad. Okay, and we'll take one more. Tell me your name. Walker. All right, Walker, go.
To either conform to God's ways or to conform to the society.
God's ways or man's ways, or how about whatever I feel like at the time because that's what I want to do, right? Is that, yeah? Okay. Yeah. All you guys are bringing something good to the table. That's good stuff. My candy throwing skills they're rusty, guys. I've been on summer break.
Did you ever do sports? How about you, Because if you did, I don't care.
I love sports. Sports are awesome. Like, I love it when you get a touchdown. It's amazing. When you get getting a hole in one. Hole in one! That's amazing stuff. Sports, get the thing to the other thing. Go sports! I love sports. Yes, wife?
Maybe off of what Lily said, maybe it's not really a choice to choose to follow God or man. Maybe it's just what God you choose to follow.
Oh.
Are you your own God? Is society your God? Is the Buddhist God your God?
Lowercase g God.
The Christian God your God? Yeah. I mean, okay, so you do have God as a capital case, so that would infer that it is the one true God. but maybe it's about which God you choose to follow.
Or could be more than one.
What'd you say?
Or could be more than one.
Yeah.
And maybe some religions have more than one God you can follow.
That was good, Missouri. Raise your hand.
The site can't be reached.
It's the story of my life. Come on, interwebs, you can do it. I think that was very good. What kind of, like, are you following, like, what we're going to find out is we can either follow man or we can follow God. But really, what the struggle is here, people, is that man wants to be God. Okay? They may not say it like this directly, but it always comes down to follow man or follow maybe even myself. So that's a great question, the way Miss Laura was getting at it. Which God? Like, who are you following? Okay? And see, this verse here in Colossians 2:8, when it talks about anyone capture you with empty philosophies, high-sounding nonsense, comes from, what does it say? From where? Where is that crazy thought coming from? From human thinking. Okay? And the spiritual powers of this world. Okay? And the spiritual powers of this world, that's just code for evil. Okay? Excuse me. That's what this is. That's what it's coming from. Is human thinking, man. Okay? And so man has this little problem, and that is he wants to be God. All right. So what I'm doing is we're going to go back to Genesis 1. Yeah, let's do Genesis 1 today. No, wait. We're going to eventually talk extensively about Genesis 1 and break it down. But everybody familiar with the whole, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth? Sound familiar? Like you've heard it before? Maybe, yes, kind of, sort of. I hope so. Some form of Sunday school, they, usually going over this kind of thing, right? All right, so we're going to skip ahead. First of all, you need to know Genesis are the events in there are real things. They did happen. It's not allegory that represents something. Adam and Eve are not the representatives of spiritual humanity or any kind of garbage nonsense like that. They're real people. We'll talk about this later on in another section months from now. But anthropologists, those are the ones that study, those are the ones that study ancient humans. Anthropologists have tracked the origins of humanity, Homo sapiens, and guess how many people it came down to? This is going to be mind-blowing. Oh my gosh. 2. I had you there for a second, didn't I? 2. It came down to 2 people. That is scientifically proven. So, all of humanity comes down to 2 people, and these 2 people, in a world where they were created and told, you know what, here's this big old garden, take the land, hang out wherever you want, and by the way, I apologize, I already told IT today, my drawing skills and abilities suck, okay? I'm just getting that out there. I am no good, so please, if you really don't know what it is, ask me, okay? But for the most part, just shut your mouth and don't judge me, bro! All right? No judging. Yeah, that's actually not too bad for me. All right, so here we go. Okay. I'm going to give her long here because that's a big. Okay, so there we are. There's Adam and Eve.
There's an eraser right there.
Yeah, I know, but it takes time, All right, so there's Adam and Eve. Okay, they were created. God was there. Is that good? I'm just going to represent God as God. Okay, so there's God. There's Adam and Eve. And they were hanging out in the garden. They could hang out with God. Okay? They didn't know what the wrong thing was. They never did anything wrong before. They were just hanging out with God. Vegetables are just all over the place. Fruit and all that. You can eat whatever you want. Do whatever you want, guys. All you have to do is never eat from what? Somebody raise their hand, tell me. You just can't eat from, I just need a hand raised and I will, come on man, you got something? The tree of what? Tree of knowledge of good and evil. Sorry about that. The tree with knowledge of good and evil. That's all you had to do, man. You had one job, Adam. One. Because we all know what happens, right? Okay, so God was like, don't eat from this tree. Just do whatever you want, but don't eat from this tree. So along comes a serpent. Serpent was more crafty than any other of the wild animals. And he says, in the very first marketing scheme, okay, did God really say you must not eat from the tree from any tree in the garden? And the woman, innocently enough, said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the trees of the garden, but I think God said you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden. You must not touch it, or you will die. Okay? All right. So Eve very clearly knew what was going on. All right? Scrolling down a little bit. And then, here comes the salesman. He was like, but wait, you will certainly not die, said the serpent. Okay, that's a flat-out lie. For God knows when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you'll be just like God, knowing good and evil. Well, that sounds cool. Okay? Marketing, right? It's of the devil. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your father. He said, but he's marketing for a good reason, right?
I mean, he created the devil campaign, so.
Ooh, he was behind those billboards, wasn't he? Oh, that's a side. We'll have to talk about that later because that was really good. That was really creative. I minored in marketing, so I'm like all about marketing. Let's go. All right. So, what happened, guys? When the woman walked up to the tree, she saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food, pleasing to the eye, but also desirable for gaining wisdom. That's a whole sermon in itself. I'm not going to touch that one. Gaining wisdom, like from a fruit, I don't know. Okay, I don't have all the answers today, people. We're just getting to some big ideas here. So she took some of the fruit and she ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it because she ate it, and she said, "Here you go, Adam, eat it." And he said, "I don't know. I mean, God did eat it." Okay, that's how it went down. No lie. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there. All right. So anyways, what happened? She gave it to her husband. He ate it. Then the eyes of them were both opened, and they realized we're naked. They sewed fig leaves together, made coverings for themselves. Is that inappropriate? I don't know. Fig leaves, right? All right. I said no judging. No judging with my drawings. All right, guys. So, man and wife heard the sound of the Lord. The Lord God, as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Oh, okay. And they hid from the Lord for the very first time. Shocking, right? Okay. And then the Lord called out to the man, "Where are you, Adam?" Now, just for the record, God knew exactly where Adam was. This is just like, when your mom or dad is playing hide and seek with you, and you're like, where's Adam? Where's Adam? They know exactly where you are, okay? But they're just, all right, that's what's going on here. Just in case you think God was being surprised or something, he doesn't get surprised. All right, everybody clear on that? Everybody taking notes on this? You got your notebook open? I can't see it because this guy's blocking. No, you're fine. No, it's fine. Okay. So, anyways, all right. So Adam says, "I heard you were in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." And And God was like, and who told you you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from? Again, like a loving parent, he knows exactly what's up. He's just asking you just to see if you know what you did. You know? Your parents ever do that? I hope so. You know when they are. They know exactly what's going on. They're just asking you to see if you're going to confess. If you're going to confess. All right. So what happened, what this was, guys, going back to our big idea of following God or making ourselves God. Adam and Eve thought they knew better than God. All right? They are not victims of their choices. They could be, but no. They're not victims like of the serpent, like, oh my gosh, it was the serpent. Even though that's exactly what they say, right? Oh, it was the serpent. No, wait, first it was Adam going, she told me to, man. Right? Adam's like, I'm a victim. Don't. It wasn't my fault. Okay? And then Eve is like, oh, but it was the serpent. I'm a victim of the serpent. Okay? He made me do it. No. She thought she knew better than God. He thought he knew better than God. They thought they knew better than God. And because of those decisions, that is when sin entered this world. And what was a perfect creation, without bee stings, which somebody got bee stung today, without things that hurt, without pain, easy growing food, with no shortages, possibly talking animals, not sure. That one's up for debate. Unicorns, it doesn't say there's not. Okay, all of that is no more, okay? Because there is sin. That is what this is called, sin, okay? You think you know better than God. I know you're not hearing this for the first time. Maybe you are, that's okay. I tell you guys like you are, maybe hearing it for the first time. I'm guessing a lot of you guys were brought up in church or whatever. So instead of just being able to hang out with God, all of a sudden, there is a gap here. God cannot let me say it like this. The essence of everything that is disobedient to God cannot be with God. God is holy. Holy literally means set apart. If you are set apart, that means you have not done the wrong thing. You are blameless and pure. Guess who's not blameless and pure over here? Mr. and Mrs. Fig Leaf. So now God had to kick them out of the garden, right? Yeah. Serpent deceived me, I'm a victim. Okay, so because you've done this, now he says all this about the serpent. Yes, he did punish the serpent. He said to the woman, yeah, enjoy childhood. Good luck with that. Your desire will be for your husband to rule over you. Let's see what else. All these consequences. These are consequences of their actions. Okay? But let's get to the part right here. Where does it say it? And so the Lord banished him from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he had been taken. There it is. And he drove out the man and his wife, placed them on the east side of the Garden of Eden with cherubim, flaming sword, flashing back and forth to guard the way of the tree of life. Where is that? I don't know, that's next time. Just kidding, I don't know where it is. Garden, I don't know where it is. Nobody really knows exactly where. There's a semi-idea, but it's gone. Maybe not visible to this realm, who knows? All right, so they can no longer be in the presence of God. Why? Because of sin. So we have this gap that separates us to God. Now, what this is this represents, if you haven't caught on yet, this is all of man, right? This is all of us. Again, capital M, man, all of humanity. We're all separate from God. right? We're all separate from God. And what happens is we, because of this separation, are going to be separate. That's really sad. We're going to be separate from God for all of eternity. And what does that mean? This is separation from God right here. That bad handwriting is also terrible spelling. Okay, so no judging there either, please, especially for my own daughter. You don't have a leg to stand on, so don't. All right, separation from God. This is the fire and the flames. Okay, this is a not nice place. This is Sheol, hell. Okay, this is separation from God for all eternity. So here is the problem. Here's the dilemma that we're facing. God is not present in our world the way he was. Okay? I can't just be like, hey, God, and then he's like, poof, right there, or something like that. Okay? It doesn't work like that. Okay? We although God is ever present, he's omnipresent around us, we can't see him and be like, hey, what's up? We cannot be in God's presence because we've done the wrong thing. See, this sin does have some cosmic consequences. It is carried over through generations of people. All of us have sinned. Romans 3:23. Anybody know that one? For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Okay? All of us. Todos, los peoples. That's Spanglish, in case you're wondering. Everybody has sinned and fallen short of God's glory. Okay? What sin literally means in the Hebrew, when you go back to the ancient word, is it means missing the mark. Okay? You are missing the mark. You're missing the target of obeying God. And because we're missing the target of obeying God, Romans 6:23 says this really famous verse, besides the other verse I just mentioned, and that is, for the wages of sin is death. Okay? Anybody know what a wage is? Crickets? What's a joke?
Something you earn, like it could be money you earn, just basically what you receive.
Exactly. Annie has just earned a wage for her right answer. Gummy bears. This is a wage. You earned that for your right answer. Okay? What is the wage for your sin? Anybody raise their hand and tell me?
Death.
No, it's not death. It's death. But I'll also accept death. All right. That's two. Come on, man. Step it up. Catch those things. Just kidding. It was a terrible throw. It is death. Okay? What have we earned for our sin? You want to say it again, Lily? Do you have a question? Hang on to the question, okay? Hang on to the question. All right. So we have earned death. Okay? We have earned death for our disobedience to God. All right. So that disobedience to God earns us separation from God. So it doesn't matter what we've done. Okay? Doesn't matter what we do, we are still separated from God. Okay? So, we have, and we'll talk about this later on in the year, we all have kind of this God-shaped hole in our hearts. We have this emptiness, okay? And people their whole lives will try and fill this emptiness with something. Whether it's something good, like I just like to help people, or I just like to give money, maybe I like to go help poor people, or maybe it's, well, I just like to rock and roll and I love a good Megadeth album or Def Leppard, whatever, I don't know. I mean really old bands. Sorry about that, guys. I told you, I warned you. I have a lot of 80s references and stuff. Maybe it's just, I really like Screamo rock! Okay? I fill that God-shaped hole with that. Maybe it's drugs. Maybe it's pornography. Maybe it's just cyberbullying. Maybe it's social media. Okay? And believe me, that is a huge gap filler. Okay? And it feels, or maybe it's a relationship, like that you way too into, like, I just love him so much, he's my everything. Okay, that happens. Okay, but whatever it is, whatever you're trying to fill that God-shaped hole in your heart, it's still going to end up empty. Now, going back to this problem with the separation, okay, we are going to try to somehow get back to God. We're going to try everything we can, but nothing gets there. So what is all this curmudgeon about? How do we solve this problem? I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to do my best to not botch it really badly. Okay. Because God sent, I apologize, God forgive me. Actually, this one's not too bad this time. Okay, what happened? God came to earth in the form of who? Anybody? Sunday school answer? Anyway, go, Melody.
Jesus.
Jesus! Yay! Okay, so God came here in the form of his son, Jesus. Jesus was 100% man, 100% God. We'll talk about that later, or you can take Miss Linda's awesome apologetics class and find out more about that. So, I said awesome theology class because she's right out there. I said it loud on purpose. Okay, so God came in the form of his son, Jesus. Okay? Now, what's special about Jesus? Sometimes in theological circles or whatever, they call him the second Adam. Why would they do that? Well, we just talked about it. Because these guys missed the mark and messed up. Okay? But Jesus came here to this earth, never did the wrong thing, guys. He never sinned. He never missed the mark. No human has ever been able to do that. Oh, but I've never sinned. You just did. You lied. Okay? No one has ever been able to miss the mark. But Jesus, excuse me, said that wrong. Everyone misses the mark. But Jesus nailed it. And then he got it. Yeah, it's kind of tasteless, isn't it? In a way. But then he got nailed to the cross. I'll work on that transition. I can probably come up with a more tasteful way to say that. But it was kind of, punny, whatever. I'm going to get struck by lightning when I walk out of this room. I know it. Okay, so Jesus, did he put himself on the cross? Was he like, yeah, kill me? No. He gave himself up willingly. The people wanted, he caused so much stirring, so much of a ruckus, that they nailed him to a cross, and he took the punishment for our sin on that cross. And then he died, and then what happened? Anybody want to fill in the rest of the story? Take a stab at it?
Goes to life 3 days later.
Yes, I know. It's tough.
Is it the heaven?
Yeah. You can. Yeah, I'll take a little hand motion like he went to heaven. Yep. Okay, so he was put in a tomb. He was put in a tomb, or sealed with a rock, and boom, 3 days later, the rock is gone. His body's gone. Why? Because he came back to life. He was God, and he conquered death. So, what happened was, let's put, I'm not going to try and even draw him because it would be insulting, but Jesus died on a cross, and his, the only word I'm thinking of is awesomeness. Let's see, he took on, here's us, here's all of man, okay? He took our sin, and then he gave us his awesomeness. Righteousness.
Goodness. Holiness.
Okay? His righteousness goes to us. Boom. Our sin went to him. Okay? Some of you guys are like, I've heard this my whole life. this is the foundation of the class, guys. This is week 1 stuff, okay? You can, just like in IT, it's foundational. All we talked about was 1 and 0. That was it, right? Binary, baby. It was a little dry. I'm just saying, you know. That one guy was yawning. Jeremiah yawned like 8 times. Okay, so anyways, this is foundational stuff. Our sin to Jesus. His righteousness to us. How does this happen? Does this happen for everybody? No, it doesn't. Is everybody going to heaven? No, absolutely not. Okay? Wow, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? Yeah. But you know what? We are all guilty of sin. We all deserve this. Okay? We all deserve that. But we have a choice. Okay? Whoever confesses with their mouth the Lord Jesus will be saved. When you stop going your way, and your way is making you your own God, that's sin, right? When you stop doing your way, and let's just call this, I'm going this way, this is my way, and then what do? I turn and go the other way and turn towards God. There's a word that literally means to turn directions and do something else. I see some hands. Go, May, what is it? Did you hear that? May just said, repent! The kingdom of heaven is at hand! That's what she said, right? Maybe not so much like that, but that's what she meant. Okay. Oh, so I actually caught it, yeah. Okay, so repent literally means to turn around, go the other way, start doing the right thing. Repent. So when we ask for forgiveness from God, say, God, forgive me for the wrong things that I have done, and I want to turn to you, and I want to follow you the rest of my life. I know I'm going to mess up again. God, forgive me for my sin. And Jesus, I recognize that you are the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes back to God, to the Father, but through him. Then we get to be with God in eternity. That's the story of salvation right there. That's how we get back to heaven, Charlie Brown. That's what Christmas is all about. Yay. All right. So, does everybody understand how this carries into the whole question of man or God? Who are you going to follow? Because we live in a world where they're rocking this pretty good. High-sounding philosophies, nonsense, excuse me, human thinking. We're living in a world where literally we are dealing with the same problems that Paul dealt with. And it's kind of nice to know that evil does not have any new tricks. They might be shinier and look different, and maybe, using technology now. But evil has had the same tricks for the last 2,000 plus years. Pretty crazy, huh? It's always the same deal, and that is, are you following man? Are you following God? Nowadays, there are these worldly ways of thinking that we're going to talk about next time, where you're going to see this is the knowledge that when you have this, you learn this in college. When you learn this, it's like you are above the rest. You now have this amazing way of thinking created by man, that now you can see the world and all you little people, and now you understand what's going on. That's what they want you to think when you come out of college. Okay? Now, I say that, and I will say in college, I'll use that term a lot, and I mean 90% of most colleges and an overwhelming majority of most professors, okay, but not everyone. And there are good colleges out there. There are Christian Bible-believing colleges, and yes, there are a few good conservative professors here and there, but for the most part, they're getting stamped out and kicked out. Okay, there are good ones out there, but for the most part, they want you to have this worldly, empty philosophy with high-sounding nonsense, guys. They want you to come out with that and be like, well, this is the way it is. Okay? Has anybody ever heard of the term woke? Yes, maybe, sort of. Yeah, you have in my house for sure. The term what? Yeah.
My mom uses it a lot.
Okay. In a positive context.
Driving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. When you go to college and you start to embrace their philosophy of thought, you're woke, yo. See, I added the yo because then I made it sound cool. Okay? You're woke now. Okay? We don't need to go woke. That is the wrong thing. That is the opposite way of what you want to do. The woke people are the ones that are like, you can be a woman by saying you're a woman. That's them. Okay? They're the ones that are creating a new type of minority every week. They're the ones that are like, you have to have this kind of philosophy, or else if you're not one of us, you're against us. And even people like on the same side of the political spectrum are like, this is kind of dangerous, and we should probably stop this. Okay? Because what's happening is the wokeness is becoming their own religion. Remember this? You're either going to follow man, or you're going to follow God. So that is week 1. Did we get to the first fill in the blank? No, we didn't. Did you write man or God at the top of your paper?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. When are you going to fill out the fill in the blanks this week at home? No! Don't do it! You fight that with every fiber of being inside of you. Don't do it. Is anyone not on Google Classroom yet? Anyone not on Google Classroom yet? Has everybody got on a good? You looked at me like, what's Google Classroom?
No, I try to, yeah.
Oh, okay. We good? All right. Yes. Please get on Google Classroom and continue.